I'm Timmy.
I'm Justin.
And I'm Nathan.
This is Real Tech Dudes.
It wasn't me, boss. It was them rotten titles.
I do something. That was pretty good.
Very best bebop.
I need to.
Oh, yeah.
Let's name this video real quick. Let's call it Tariff, Trouble, and Ham Radio.
Oh,
I like that.
Jinkies.
But with a question mark.
Oh.
Like that. Tariff, Trouble, and Ham Radio. Is that a thing, gentlemen? Or will it be?
It could be.
It could be.
And it might be. Some of it depends on July 9th. But
July 9th.
For now.
That's when most of
as of today.
That's when everything just kind of goes into
as of Star Wars Day.
As of Star Wars.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
Star
May the
Wars
Fourth
Day
be
for
with
reference.
you.
So
Yep.
That's when this is being shot. It will not be when you see
Yes.
it. Let's talk amateur radio equipment as far as location of manufacture. I've done a little research.
We don't make any of that in the good old US of A.
No, not really.
Not much. I think there's some, but very little.
Yeah. So I got to looking. ICOM goes out of their way to manufacture all of their equipment in Japan. So everything they make comes from Japan.
Yep.
Yaesu is majority Japan.
Yep.
Occasionally in China on some of their HTs. Kenwood is a mix, Japan, Malaysia, and China. Then Baofeng, Anytone, Redivis, and any of the other variations thereof are all from China.
Any of the Roger Beep radios.
Yes. Gosh, that's a good. The Roger Beep, wide open, spurious emission mess HTs.
Yep.
You can comment your hate below.
And we all own those too. So, it's just.
Yeah, not my favorite. Worst microphones ever on Baofengs. Anyway.
Yeah.
So we've looked at the prices, and so far it appears if you want to still buy a 1650 UV5R on Amazon, you can still do so as of May 4th.
Yep.
And for what price?
16. That's a.
See, that's the thing. I think you'll still be able to buy all of this. It's just going to cost you.
You can still get it. Like, you can still get stuff.
Cost you a little more quid.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we were discussing amongst ourselves right before we started recording this, and even if tariffs go into place and it affects radios, you won't necessarily see an immediate price hike, because tariffs are charged on, in general anyway, goods coming into the country. So anything that's sitting in the warm little heart of a warehouse would be exempt from that.
Yeah, because it's already here.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I'm gonna pull up something on Amazon here while we're talking, because they will show you. I think. Let's see, UV5R. The pair that you can get for $32.50 of UV5R, 500 plus sold in the last month.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
The 1650 single UV5R, 2,000 plus bought in the last month.
Yeah.
The last month.
Yeah.
So
that's a lot of minimum.
That tells me that warehouses are full of these radios probably still, because they're going to be stocked to a level they can beat that at prime 2
For one thing, think about even when they're packaged and new, they're small.
Yes.
So like if you bought a pallet of UV5Rs, that'd be a lot of radios.
Sure would.
So now that isn't to say that tariffs wouldn't go into place and new ones coming into the country would cost whatever they cost, and somebody is going to see that as a moment where they could make some money on stock that they already have.
Right. That's true. I assume the large stock still available of those radios is part of what keeps them low priced right now.
Well, it's also
They've not become scarce.
It's
so.
what lets them sell on Amazon too, because when we order from Amazon, we kind of have an expectation that you're going to get your item within a couple of days.
Absolutely.
Anybody who's ordered anything off of AliExpress, where you're ordering directly from an import country, usually China, that takes weeks to get to you. So there has to be this already in place stock. Otherwise you couldn't get your Baofeng or Anytone radio delivered to you and in your warm little hands in like 3 days.
Right. I was looking up the TYT TH9000 mobile radios. Those are single band mobiles that are like 65 watt on 2 meters. You can get a 70 centimeter version and a 222 version. Those are still staying at about the price they've been. Right now they're at like $135.99. Rounded there. That's about the highest you see. $139 for the 221, $127.91 for the 2 meter one. So, that's roughly an IC 2100 Icon price in 2003. So
now I will say that, and I don't know that this is really tariff related. It's just everything's more expensive. I haven't checked the price of just say a 2 meter mobile radio in a while, but oh my goodness, the last time I did, I was disappointed a little bit.
Oh no.
Yeah, they're a little more expensive than what they were. Not like, oh my god, like this is $500, but approaching the $200 mark, I think.
Yeah, for a single band.
For a single band mobile.
No.
That's I mean, because when I first got into this hobby, most of those radios were around the $100 to $120 mark.
Yeah. Yeah, and I remember the Icon mobile at the time. I think it was the IC 23 or 2400. I don't remember which.
I feel like that one was $139.99.
It was higher. And I remember you were like, "Dang!" at the time, but I'm like, I like it. It's pretty good radio. So.
Yeah, I feel like that one was $140, whereas like the Kenwood and Yaesu you could get for $120 regular price, but you could find them for around $100 on sale.
Good old Yacom wood.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yaesu, as I was corrected when I called their little hotline when my radio broke.
Yaesu.
Yeah. So you can, Alinco is another one they
still exist.
They still exist.
Oh, I always felt like Alinco was more pricey than they ought to have been.
They didn't used to
be.
They
used to be the cheapies.
Yeah. Really? I mean, I
in a pre-Chinese radio world, they were.
Yeah.
They're more expensive than a Baofeng, but still cheaper than a one of the big three. I feel like.
Yeah, anymore they're not, but Alinco in the late 90s, early 2000s had a huge variety of interesting radios. They had a credit card HT, I remember. It was the size of a credit card, only slightly thicker with a telescopic antenna that pulled up. It was only like half a watt, but it was a really fun little HT. They had like a 2 meter one and a 70 centimeter one. Nobody's doing anything like that right now. What's that?
Sounds very James Bond-ish.
It kind of was. It was a little deal. So, but they had a bunch of different radios, but I think they've changed hands a few times, and they really don't. Yeah. They have a very small, limited offering at this time of radios, most of which have been on the market for 15 years or more.
Yeah, I just
I want a TurtleCom. Somebody build a TurtleCom, damn it.
Oh, it needs to make the sound too. Yeah. This exact sound here.
Leonardo, Donatello, help!
Yeah, the Alinco DRC S10 and 10 HT are $159, $149 on RNL. It's a special order though, so you gotta...
Oh, is it? Interesting. Special order. Huh.
Yeah, the prices on like the let's see, where's the Icon? The Icon ICV 3500 2 meter.
Yes, that's the current 2 meter mobile. Yeah,
$235.
Wow, those are up.
Yeah.
I first saw one of those when we did go to Dayton that year. They were just about to come out. So.
Just looking around, there's Yaesu has a few that are like 85 watt. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, they do.
I'm just like I said, I'm on RNL's website, and they don't have any Kenwood.
Yeah, what is the status of Kenwood? It's not really subject to the video, but they don't seem to be paying a lot of JVC Kenwood or whoever owns them. I think it's still their current branding. As far as overarching company, they're really just not putting a lot of new radios out there right now.
What is their current model still that one that I gave you?
Oh, that could be.
Are they mobile?
Yeah. I mean, it was an atrocious thing, but
He does not like that radio, and it's a weird little radio.
I don't even see any of that listed on the 2 meter.
It's not weird in a that's cute way either. It's annoying.
Yeah, let's just take a look at Kenwood now that we're thinking about it, because they still have a site.
That still shows things there.
Yeah. But the things it shows are, this radio's been out for ages, the TS590 here.
Yeah.
It's been around a long time.
Yeah.
These other two, I think they've been around a while. This HD actually has D-Star in it, I remember. That's kind of what made it special. It was the first non-ICOM radio with D-Star.
Okay.
I'm
not seeing
There's just not a whole lot, though, is there? Oh. The V71, I think that's been around a while.
Yeah.
Is that that's a decent, this is a TMD 710. That is a radio that can natively do APRS. That has been on the market, both as the original D700 and that, for like 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah, the THD 75A, the HT.
Yeah.
Those are $588.
Interesting that they have 220. It's a tri-bander with 220. Both of these radios.
Everything with any kind of digital, though, that's still excessive for an HT, I think, but it does increase the price substantially.
So we have TS990, TS890. I think these have been around a while too, and this has been around for a long time.
TS890 has for a while in some variant. I know
there have been a couple versions of it, so it's interesting because it seems like they're not innovating as hard as they once did in amateur radio anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say not in amateur radio. They're still pretty prevalent in.
It does appear that 2 meter is gone though. They don't even have a 2 meter offering based on their website. So
that's
they still have. They're still very prevalent in public safety and the business sector. And they kind of have an edge there. So they offer a lot of the same features that like Motorola would offer, but at a much cheaper to implement price. Now it's not apples to apples. It's apples to good enough.
Apparently the TS890 is new. It has a new thing next to it. So that's their newest offering. So
is that the S or the S?
TS890S.
Yes.
New.
That is, oh, wow. That is $4,000 for that radio.
Oh yeah, it's a very high-end radio. You can tell by looking at it. It's similar to the top-end ICOMs. That are equally expensive.
$1,000? You got to really want it.
$3,999.89.
I guess we've gotten horribly off topic here.
It is, but
it is, but it isn't. So I mean,
we went from tariffs to Kenwood.
And what we've noted is that
ICOM.
the prices are pretty well still okay right now. So
right now they seem to be decent because I'd say there's just enough stock in country that's not as much.
Well, are any of these tariffs haven't taken effect yet, have they? That will be.
Some have, some have not. So China, for example.
Now, are there any exemptions in place that might save amateur radio? That's the thing with tariffs. It's a scary word, but oh my goodness, is it complicated?
Yeah, it really is. Go back to Japan. I don't think.
So here's something for you. I just found to do a little Google foo. I got to share this. It's very interesting to me.
Is this Google AI?
No.
The ICOMs.
So it looks like ICOM's warning their vendors.
Yeah.
About an upcoming 24% tariff surcharge that will be implemented on all invoices beginning May 8th. So it looks like current orders already on order will maintain current pricing without it.
Yep. That's what it shows actually on a website I'm on, where it's got reciprocal tariffs of 24%.
Yeah.
Delayed until, it does say delayed until July 9th. So
yeah. This one says new orders ICOM after May 8th the surcharge will be added. So
Yeah.
Now that's for vendors though. So
yeah, it's for vendors. It wouldn't be
that
direct
wouldn't
to
be
people.
your direct consumer order.
Right.
But again,
Well-
I could absolutely see just about everybody saying, well, we might as well make a little extra money on the ones that we have in stock.
Yeah.
Right. Huh. Interesting. So we're a little early on this. It's May 4th. May the 4th be with you.
Yes.
It looks like things could change. So we're going to keep an eye on these prices.
Yeah. There's
And honestly, before this video drops, we may already have an update added to it. We'll find out. So
yeah.
Well, I will say, okay, so it's really unfortunate that like an ICOM is going to cost 24% more.
Yeah.
I'm kind of okay with a bail fin costing 24% more.
Yeah, because that's like $3, $4.
But it's not
Right.
a lot anyway.
yeah.
Yeah, and I almost, I don't know. The amateur radio guy in me says that bail things are too cheap anyway and too easily obtainable. There, I said it.
Well, I don't disagree with that. They're also not the quality of an icon.
They are absolutely not. Now, there are certain aspects of the cheap end radios that I like. Like I feel like they encourage experimentation because if you smoke it, well, you're out $16.
Yeah. I've abused bail things as fox hunt transmitters in atrocious conditions repeatedly. So far, they've never died.
They actually are pretty resilient little things.
No.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're like tower climbing and you drop one, what do you got? $16?
Yeah,
Right.
Or doing anything for that matter. If you're out near water and you think there's even a remote chance that you might drop it in like a lake, pond,
Right.
or what have you, again, who cares? You're out $16.
Yeah.
Whereas if you drop any of the new offerings for an HT, you're going to cry at least a little.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't like that.
I mean, if you have to throw one to a bear or something to run the other direction or whatever.
They're not as good for beating people like your ICOM, though.
No,
very light.
No, nothing beats.
Listen, you always say it's. I just wanted to do that because you've not done it in a long time. Murder bad, Nathan. Murder bad.
Yeah. I just want to say from the mid '80s, and it still works. Did get a new battery though. So.
Mostly because he's not dropped it off of a tower or into water.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Or into
It's not
someone's
waterproof
that we know of.
Well, yeah.
Yes,
it has not bludgeoned anyone.
Wouldn't that be funny if Nathan was actually some kind of psychotic axe murderer and we don't know? Kind of like the
that would
Bob
get
Ross,
the views here on YouTube before they shut the channel down.
kind of like the Bob Ross theory that all of his paintings were where he hid his victims' bodies.
Oh, poor Bob Ross.
Wow.
Bob Ross is just such a pleasant person. He didn't do that.
How do you know?
Okay,
What if somebody
that's valid.
stomped on his happy little tree?
Valid. I didn't think about that.
He's an ex-Marine. He would have taken care of
You
that.
wouldn't have done that. Now I'm gonna
I wish you
kill you and make a mess.
Yeah, when it comes down
happy little knife into the happy little heart.
there you go.
Sorry.
Trade Compliance Resource Hub.com. So I've got this list, but it is pretty impressive. It breaks down, looks like every single country, honestly. Falkland Islands. For some reason, we have a 42% tariff on the Falkland Islands. Do we get anything from the Falkland Islands?
Say what comes
If
out
we
of
do,
that.
it has a tariff. So.
What are they known for?
I don't know. And Fiji.
What?
Do we do
Why?
anything to vacation there?
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't get these.
Say,
And then
But
my cam radio's there. I can tell you that. So.
I don't personally get the reason behind some of this, but I think our initial statement we said before the whole thing started, this is probably a process that they're using to get better deals is kind of what it sounds like.
We've seen some examples of that. Now we've also seen some examples where there are tariff wars going on, and it's like, well, if you're going to do that to us, we'll do this to you, and then then we're going to do this to you, and it's a back and forth that is probably not great for the consumer,
Right?
But
Right.
we're just along for the ride, man.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Anyway, let us know what you think the tariffs will do below. If you want to join the conversation, be sure to comment here. Hit us at 3 Old Tech Dudes 1 over on X or on Facebook. Just search for 3 Old Tech Dudes. I think that's about all we've got for now, unless things change before we do the edit. So Till next time, I'm Timmy.
I'm Justin.
I'm Nathan.
And this is Three Old Tech Dudes.
Thanks for hanging out with us here on 3 Old Tech Dudes. Please subscribe to us here on YouTube for more tech old and new, tinkering at the workbench, repairs, ham radio, electronics, computers, and more. Please like this video and share 3OTD with your friends to help us grow the channel. We tweet at 3 Old Tech Dudes 1 on Twitter, and you can keep up with us on Facebook. Just search for 3OTD and look for our logo. Thanks so much for watching.